My next person to introduce is Mike Carden, the CEO of Sonar6. One of the things he talks about is making sure that at last performance reviews that don't suck. And as someone who's watching an organisation, the one I lead at the moment, go through doing 3,000 people's end-of-year reviews, bring it on, please, for goodness sake. Mike Carden.
Great. So Sonar6, put up your hand if you've heard of Sonar6. Oh, that's pretty cool, because I'm talking about building an audience, so that's an encouraging start. So Sonar6 is a very simple business. We do employee performance reviews online. And there's about 1 billion people in the world who have some kind of annual or more frequent performance review, and generally people think performance reviews suck. So if you can fix that and monetize it to, say, $20 per person per year, then you've got a $20 billion total available market. And that's the market that Sonar6 is playing in very successfully. So I'm going to talk today about building an audience, and really this is going to be a short story about a big mistake we made at Sonar6 and how we learned from that mistake. So Sonar6 is about 5 years old, and we started off by building a great product, a fabulous product, and everyone we showed it to just went, that's awesome, we love it, it's cool, we want it. Just unfortunately, they didn't seem to buy it, right? And if they did buy it, it just seemed to take them an inordinate amount of time to make a decision. Our sales cycle was about 9 months long. And that's really frustrating because you want to sell more stuff now, right? And so we came up with this plan, this great plan to fix this problem, and this plan basically looked like this. We would shorten the sales cycle by adding more salespeople. And this, of course, was our mistake. In fact, shortening the sales cycle is probably not a lever that you can pull. In fact, we surmise that probably people would do pretty much what they were going to do, pretty much when they were going to do it, regardless of how many convincing salespeople we added to the model. And in fact, the only lever that we could pull is maybe putting more people into the funnel and then working out the lowest cost possible way of nurturing those people for as long as it took. And so we started to build what we called the active path, which said that the journey from becoming aware of Sonar6 to buying Sonar6 is actually a process. And the job of marketing and sales is to add as many people to that process as possible and then progress them through these different phases in that process until they eventually buy something. So a little bit of detail about that. The first box we call suspects, and that's the whole world of people out there who could be interested in our category but don't yet know of Sonar6. And what we're trying to do there is not sell Sonar6. What we're trying to do there is open a dialogue with a whole bunch of people, get their permission to have some kind of ongoing conversation with them, and basically get them to opt in. And how do we do that? Well, that comes to the second rule of marketing at Sonar6, which is about being likable. So people have conversations with people they like, right? It's that simple. People don't typically want to have conversations with salespeople. They want to have conversations with people they like. And so we went about building lots of kind of content which was kind of friendly and interesting and funny and amazing and so on, and we spread that around through search engine marketing or search engine optimization or trade shows or social media or outreach email, things like that, to try and get people to opt in. And this concept of likability has real kind of marketing, it's part of marketing right now, because the ubiquitous Facebook like button, when you click like, you like something because it's likable, right? And as an aside, Sonar6, we've got 22,000, maybe 23,000 Facebook fans. We've got 23,000 Facebook fans. We make HR software, right? People can actually like stuff like HR software. And we also have 80,000 people who've kind of opted in to receive our weekly emails and so on. Now, another example of what I'm talking about here about being likable is that when Sonar6 goes to a trade show, we don't have a big fancy booth of shiny-shoed salespeople trying to sell you Sonar6. No, we instead have an enormous cardboard box which we let people write on, because getting people to opt in is about being likable, right? Now, once you have people who opted in, then you're kind of in this dialogue with them, right? You're trying to keep them in conversation, and you're sending them email, likable kind of email. You're also, blogging, you're updating your fan page, you're tweeting and so on. But all the time, you're trying to understand their behavior and see if they're doing things like visiting your website, forwarding your information around, doing price requests, because you're trying to identify when they're starting to become a lead, when they're starting to become the kind of prospect that's actually going to buy something. And this comes on to rule number 3, which we say at Sonar6 is that you've got to be the newspaper, not the ads, right? And so what that means is that you should spend some of your energy trying to encourage people along the process, right? Try and get them to do free trial, try and get them to attend your webinars, that sort of stuff. But you should spend most of your energy keeping the dialogue open because you need to keep it open for so long. And in fact, the rule of thumb that we have at Sonar6 is that in our communications with our prospects, we never talk about Sonar6 more than 25% of the time. Okay, so we talk about other stuff like how Angry Birds can make you a better manager, because that's kind of more interesting. And then, if you get this right, you'll have your salespeople drinking from a fire hose of qualified leads that are actually buying stuff. You won't have your salespeople, explaining how your pricing model works or explaining how to build the business case. Instead, you'll have salespeople that close deals, and that's ultimately what you want for this business to work. So there's the kind of summary of those points. But if you look at the upshot of all of this, for Sonar6, over the last 24 months, we've introduced this model. We have taken our worldwide sales force from 6 people down to 2 people. And in the same time, we have quadrupled our sales level. So that's Sonar6. Remember, if you manage people, www.sonar6.com, you need to go and buy it. Okay, thank you.